Hello everybody, this is Nintisart. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how I did a vintage painting. I love these kind of paintings because they are very ancient looking, and that's the kind of style that I love with these kind of paintings. So I will be showing you step by step how I did this. So right now what I'm currently doing is I'm wetting up the canvas because it's going to be looking like a thin wash as the background. I'm going to put a very thin layer of green paint on it, so I'm just preparing the canvas to do that right now. So I'm just coating it with water only, nothing else. I'm just coating it very good. And if you want, you can even, if you don't feel comfortable doing water, you can even do gesso. You can spread some gesso on it with just a little tint of green, little thing of green, just to make it like a tint color. You can also do that if you don't feel comfortable doing it with water. For me, I just feel like it's much quicker with water. With the background, I'm using the color green. You can use any kind of color you like. I just choose to use green for today because I do look at it as a nature color and I love nature, but you can use whatever color you prefer. That's perfectly fine. What I'm doing right now, I'm just pretty much coating the canvas with a very light coat of green, just going in back and forth strokes, going up and down. If you want to do it from side to side, you can also do that. You can just paint it exactly how you feel comfortable, although I am showing you step by step, but just do it what makes you comfortable. So this is how I'm going to be leaving the background. If you want to continue to fix your background, you can do so. Right now I'm just going to be rinsing off my brush completely. I did get a bit of water on my canvas, but it's perfectly fine because I'm actually going to be dabbing it with a sponge to create like a flower design. But you'll see exactly what I'm going to be doing. It's really helpful when you're doing paintings like this to use a sponge. This is really when I use it. I don't use it very often, but this is very useful for me because I love the way it brings out that look when you're doing these kind of paintings. It just looks so, it has this kind of inorganic way of looking. It's almost like you're doing clouds, but I'm just putting it into shapes of like loose looking flowers pretty much. And just take your time with this, guys. Don't rush it. You can take as long as you want to take. If you have to pause it to fix it exactly how you want to fix it, you can do so. I do want you to be comfortable with what you're doing on your painting. I don't want you to rush and simply just make a mistake. Just take your time and be patient with yourself to do this, because it does take patience. You have to kind of know exactly where you're going to put the sponge and how you want it to get shaped. You don't even have to do flowers. You can do bushes, you can do like foliage, you can do anything. You can even do the clouds like I mentioned before. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually just darkening the very middle with a little bit of green just to make it look more like a flower, because they are going to stay white. They're going to just pretty much look transparent, and I love the way it's looking right now. So what I just did right now, I just grabbed my flat brush and I'm just creating the stems right now. And this is pretty much really simple. It's just going right through the paint. That's what I love about these kind of paintings. It's not too much that you have to be doing because the paint on the background is still wet. So what you can do is just run the brush exactly how you want to run it and just create whatever design that you're doing. I'm just putting the leaves right now, and I'm gonna put the leaves on both of the stems here. I always love to do flowers when they're kind of just joining together. I don't know if you notice on any of the paintings that I have on my Instagram page, which is named at Nintisart. I do have a few paintings where I do have some flowers that just kind of meet together, like they're always just connected, and I love that. I'm gonna be adding some detailing right now to the flower to just make it look more realistic. I'm just putting this right now to make the middle area more dark, but you can do it however you feel comfortable to do it. And if you feel like the paint is getting a bit dry on the background, you can always still add however much water you need to add on your brush. And I'm just here damping the middle right now just to make it a bit more faded out, because that part that I just did was a little too dark for the kind of painting that I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is I'm actually putting some kind of shadow look to the petals, since it's going to be in the middle of because you know sometimes in flowers they always have this shadow look right in the middle of the petal. So that's what I'm actually doing to all of these petals right now. And it doesn't have to be too dark, you can just do it very lightly and just see that it is still wet. If it's not, then you can always get either a brush or better a sponge or even a tissue. You can, if you don't have a sponge to do this kind of design, you can also do it with a you can do it with a paper towel. You can do it with any kind of thing that you can just pretty much dab it on the canvas with. You know, just be creative with what you have. Even if you don't have something that someone is showing you step by step on a video, you have to use with what you have. That's what being an artist is, just being creative with everything that you have and make it into a creation. Making nothing out into something, you know what I'm saying? So just, you know, be creative. Put your creation into it, your unique creation. That's what's gonna make you appreciate your art even more. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually getting my flat brush, or you can use any kind of brush for this part. I'm actually just getting some water, and I'm making my brush really wet for this, because I'm actually just dabbing it into the areas where I did darken it a bit inside the middle of the petals, just to kind of put a little bit of light into it. I want to create depth on this flower. Even though it is a transparent flower, I don't want it to look flat. And I'm just darkening the middle area just a bit more, just to give it a bit more of a, you know, natural flower look to it. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is right now I'm actually going to be going over again on the petals just to make it a bit more light, because as you can see it did darken a bit, and that will happen. So you may just have to kind of go over it just a few times to get it to the look that you are desiring for this painting. And you don't have to do it. This is just my choice to do it. So if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's always good to kind of step back from your painting and just to give it a look or a glance and see where it needs to be improved, where you need to fix it. You know, we all just have to improve as we go. Just do what we gotta do to create that look that we're going for. I'm here adding some leaves to this next flower now. I didn't do it in the beginning, so if you already did it, that's perfectly fine. And I know I had called the leaves petals, but I did meant to say leaves, by the way. You know, y'all make mistakes, it's fine. You know, none of us is perfect. Just be yourself and enjoy it. And now what I'm gonna be doing is, I'm just putting the next flower I'm doing what I did with the other flower with this flower now. I'm just putting some color of green into it and then just dabbing it to lighten it up. And I really do love the way it's coming out. This is very beautiful. And I hope yours is coming out very beautiful as well, just the way you like it. And if not, that's fine. I mean, that's a part of being an artist. We all make mistakes. We're not gonna create every painting that's gonna come out exactly the way we want it to come out. But that's just a part of growing, and it's a part of the journey, you know, practicing every single day or however much you choose to practice. As long as you're putting in the effort and the will and the action into doing it and getting it done, that's all that matters. And that's the only way you're gonna get to where you want to go in life with anything that you're doing. So right here, I'm actually putting some lines in between the petals to make them look separated and to create that shadow look under each petal. I think that's what will make the flower pop out more. And it's really good to detail on the painting as much as you can, just to give it that realistic look and to make it look like something is really happening in this painting. Without any details, the painting will just look really lifeless and flat, no kind of story to it. And you don't want that in a painting. You always want to tell a story in your artwork and inspire other people. I'm just continuing the petals here, and what I'm doing right now is I'm actually using my finger to kind of rub off the excess paint just to make it a bit more lighter. I don't want the shadows too dark because I don't think it looks right with how the flower looks, because the flower is very light in color. So I'm actually going to be just doing more detailing on this flower right now, just to make it look exactly how I want it to look and just make it look more better. I'm just putting some more water in my brush to dab the middle area and put some light areas into it too. I don't want it to be too green in the middle, but just give it some style to it. And you can detail it exactly how you want to detail it. You can either follow me or just pretty much do it the way you wanted to do it. And if you did do a painting, I would love to see how it came out, and you know, you can post it and just tag my name into it. I'll appreciate that. But do what makes you happy. I would love to see your creations as well. And if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments or questions, you can always comment it down below in the link. And just express yourself. Alright, so right now what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna create like a ripped paper look to it right now, where I'm gonna put like a little quote inside of it. So it'll just be like as if there is a note placed there, surrounded in like a ripped up like paper. And this is another thing that I love. I love quotes. I love positive affirmations, because it can really help you get through your day. And as long as you're staying in a positive attitude, that's all that counts. I'm here adding a darker line inside the square, because I do want to create like that faded look on the outside of the square here. I think it would make it stand out more. And you can put any kind of designs on this painting if you like. If you don't want to put quotes, then you can add more flowers. You can pretty much just put any kind of picture or painting that you want to put on there. I mean, this is just what I choose to do, because this is one of the things that I love. And this is pretty much my second painting where I'm adding quotes to it. Well, actually my third, I'm sorry. One of them was in my sketchbook. But I do love to create artwork that will inspire people and help to uplift them in any kind of way that they need to feel uplifted, and just help them to feel better about themselves. Make them feel like they can do anything, because you can do anything. Alright, so I'm here using the sponge again to create that effect where, as if like, you know, when you see a very, very old paper that you found, say, from years ago or years ago. It's just creating that look where it just has a very old, vintage, ancient look to it. It has like very tiny spots and it's faded out. So I love that look that is putting on the paper. So I'm gonna keep it just like that. And I will be writing a quote inside of this painting. I'm sorry, inside of this square here. And if you also want to add quotes, you can also add your own quotes, whatever helps to uplift you or helps to uplift other people. It doesn't have to be the same exact quotes, but if you want, it's perfectly fine. You can also do that. For the quote, I will be using a very tiny detailed brush. You can use either a very small round brush, you can use a liner brush, you can even use a paint marker if you use them, because they're very helpful too, especially for those very fine lines that sometimes you just can't seem to get straight or just simply get into place as how you want it to. So this part, it does take a bit time for me because I'm not used to doing letters in the tiny detailed brush, but just take your time with it and I'm gonna do my best as well. I'm also just adding little tiny detailing on the square that looks like the paper, and you know, just to make it look like it's kind of ripped up or taped up, you know, just to add a little detail to it. And the quote that I'm actually putting here, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to just be nice. And this quote, I do agree with it so much, because being important, it's good, yes, and you have people respect you that way. You can be able to lead other people, but being nice, I feel that is so much more important, because when you're nice to other people, people respect you even more. They want to be around you more. They want to learn from you. They want to be able to follow you in every way because they love the way you are. And that niceness is coming from the inside. And that's what matters the most. It's not from the outside. The outside does not matter. It's the inside. So always remember that. However you choose to treat people or even treat yourself, always do it from the inside with a clean heart. That's the best thing ever. Alright guys, so what I did here around the quote, I actually dabbed some more green paint around it to create like that faded effect around it. I believe it brings out the look of it more. And I also got my round brush, or you can even get another brush. It doesn't have to be the round brush, but I did get a bunch of water with some paint in it and made sure it was very liquidy. And I just flickered it. I flickered the brush right around that corner area to create that dotted effect. Almost like when, I'm not sure if you ever did it before, but there are paintings where sometimes, say you're doing a night sky and you want to flicker the white paint all over the sky just to create that star effect. That's pretty much what I also did here. And right now I'm actually just dabbing some paint around the flowers to kind of bring out the flowers more and not to create like that flat look around it. Although I did put some detailing around the petals, I do like it better when there's more color around them. It just brings out the flowers more to me. What I decided to do here, I'm actually going to do some more flowers, but this time it will be some dark green roses. I'm going to be doing that here because you know me, I just love to do flowers. But you can choose to do whatever kind of design that you want to do. And this one is not going to be transparent like the other flowers that you see to your left. These are just going to be just dark green, but they will still have a transparent look to them in a way. And even if you are going to be doing flowers, it doesn't have to be roses. It can be any kind of flowers that you like. It can be a lotus flower, it can be dandelions, it can be any kind of flower. I just thought of a rose, so I said let me just do a rose here. Alright guys, so right now I'm actually taking one of my old hair combs that I no longer use, and I actually use it now to kind of create effects sometimes, mostly if I'm doing like an abstract painting. But on this painting I wanted to use it, so I'm just dabbing it into the paint and just creating some like dotted lines, just to put a little style into it, because it almost does remind me sometimes of an abstract when I do paintings like this. But you can do whatever you want with this. You can put polka dots, you can add more flowers, or you can add anything that you want to do, or grab whatever you have and be creative with it. And you can surround it around the flowers here, or around whatever it is that you did paint. And I will be adding 2 more quotes here, because I do like to have, when I am doing quotes on a painting, I like to put them in different places so people can just kind of just have somewhere to look on the painting, and they have a different quote to look at. They don't have just one quote there, so they will be very, they're more like affirmations pretty much. But you know, be unique with your painting. Do whatever you want to do that gives you that vibes, that positive vibes. Because that's what I live for, positivity. That's it. Hey guys, so I'm actually here putting the 2 more quotes that I wanted to add to this painting. The second one here is I'm putting be patient with yourself, and the very last one, which is going to be on the bottom, I'm sorry that you can't see the rest of it due to the video, but it does say also be humble. And I do want to thank everybody for just watching this video and just learning. I mean, not just about painting, but about life in some ways. And please come back, and also please like and subscribe to my channel. Take it easy, guys.